How's it going, everybody? It's Charlie, and welcome back to the return of the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Just before we get into it, as always, please make sure that you are smashing that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. Hit that notification bell, and of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions into the comment section down below. So, yeah, it has been a while, so to speak. I thought I was taking a break from content, but then I've ended up dabbling in some other channels slash podcasts that unfortunately, haven't gone the way that we would all have wanted to. And there's been no fallout, there's been no beef or anything like that. It's just, people's lives get in the way sometimes. And I just think with the lads at the South Stand View, it just wasn't long term going to work, I don't think. But that's fine. And that's life. But obviously, I wanted to still continue with the content, and I thought, what better way to do that than to come back to my original channel and help grow that, because I do really want to grow it. Now I'm in the mindset now where I just want to go full send with it. So, as I said at the beginning, if you are brand new, please subscribe. There's going to be plenty of content now for the foreseeable future on this channel. So, yeah, please join me on the journey. So, a lot has obviously happened in my absence from this channel. There's been a lot of really highs of late. I'm thinking the Sunderland game and the Sheffield United game where Leeds United showed true resilience to get through those games. There was a historic 7-0 win at home against Cardiff, which I had the pleasure to be at. It was, again, it's a weird one. I would obviously say that the Sunderland game was a better experience than the Cardiff one, because with the Cardiff one, when it got to 4, 5, 6, you just knew it was won, and it was just a case of how many more can we get. And obviously, that will go down in history. I think the last time we'd done it, like a 7-0 win, was in like 1975 or something like that against Southampton. So, they're not often are these wins. So I was, privileged to have been there for that. But yeah, like I say, guys, Leeds United are riding the crest of a very big wave at the minute. And, I was actually having a look at some of my uploads that I did at the start of this season on this channel. And there was one where I was saying that the Joe Perot experiment must end now. I mean, how wrong was I? I think Joel Perot is obviously, I think he's the joint top scorer in the division now, which is crazy. Because at the start of the season, there was a lot of questions, obviously, of who should start up front. Should it be him? Should it be Joseph? And, I think Joseph had a okay start to the season. He was showing some potential, but with Leeds United needing to get promoted this season, from a financial and a business point of view, it just made more sense to have Joe Perot in the team. He can be anonymous at times and he can be frustrating to watch, but if there's someone that I would want in the penalty box at the right time, a really good chance to falter, it would be Joe Perot all day long. I think he's the composure that he's got in front of goal. I feel like he's improved with his link-up play as well. So yeah, really positive in the forward areas. Out wide, we've got an embarrassment of riches. I think the last time I was on here, we were talking about maybe Nonto pushing to the team. We'll try to get Largi Ramazani into the team. But, the fact that we've got Nonto and Ramazani sat on the bench, not able to get into the team because of the form of Manor Solomon and Dan James. I mean, Dan James, for me, you could argue is player of the season for Leeds United at the minute, alongside a certain Japanese midfielder, which I'll come on to in a second. But yeah, Solomon at the start of the season was a bit iffy. We're thinking, is this the guy we need? But definitely since the turn of the year, he's definitely proven his worth. And if he continues in the way that he is, he's someone that I would be looking to try and turn into a permanent transfer come the end of the season. Dan James, I mean, the pace, The end product has improved. Composure in front of goal. I'm thinking the 2 goals at Watford. If that was Dan James a few seasons ago, they're getting blazed over the bar. That really good finishes. Him and Solomon seem to have a good relationship as well. They're setting each other up for goals. And it's really good to see, especially Dan James, someone who has been through ups and downs, as the song goes, at Leeds United, but, easily one of the best players of this season. Alongside Ayo Tanaka, I mean, when Ampadu got injured at the start of the season with Gruev, we were thinking, oh God, Tanaka and Rothwell, like they've not played together. Is it a bit too attacking? We maybe need someone more defensive minded in there. But boy, were we wrong. I remember the Sheffield United game at home after I'd got back off holiday and seeing it in the flesh and just thinking, wow, like how wrong were we? And that midfield has been absolutely amazing. Obviously, of late, since Gruev's come back, we've seen Farke adopt the approach of maybe Gruev away from home, where it's going to be a bit tighter. And obviously, Joe Rothwell at home, when you want him to be more on the front foot. Joe Rodon at the back, I think, has been great as well. Jayden Bogle, again, I was watching some of my old uploads and I was saying Bogle was, what have we signed here? And I was, Sheffield United have had our pants down. And then I was thinking, no, we have definitely mugged Sheffield United right off. 5 million quid, easily the best right back in the division. Boy, has he come into his own. Defensively, he's vastly improved. What he gives you going forward, the goals, the assists, the link-up play with Dan James down that right-hand side isn't being spoken enough. For me, the relationship that them two have got is really, really solid. And then you've obviously got Junior Firpo, who is now a false 9. Obviously the header at Bramall Lane, the header the other day against West Bromwich Albion. And obviously there's Ilan Melier, who, there was the howlers at Hull, but I do think since then he's been okay. The goal against West Brom the other day, I don't think was his fault. And I'm sure there was something else recently. Yeah, the goal at Bramall Lane. No, that's not his fault. That's just one of them where he has to try and get something on it to try and get the ball away from the goal line, but he ends up just putting it into his own net. I think that could have happened to anyone. So basically what I'm trying to say is, guys, since I've been gone, things are very, very good. And if we just speak about the last 3 games just as a, 3-game isolation, if you would have said to yourself before a ball was kicked in any of those games that we'll get 7 points out of these and the ones that we will win are Sunderland and Sheffield United, you would have snapped your hands off. That Sunderland game, it was looking like it was going nowhere, and then Joe Rothwell and Pascal Strout come on to save the day. The game at Bramall Lane, on about 70 minutes, I remember Joseph blazed one over the bar, and I even turned around to the dog and I just looked at him and I said, mate, this ain't happening tonight, pal. It's not happening tonight. But then, lo and behold, Ayo Tanaka, Firpo, with the equaliser, Tanaka with the winner, beautiful header. And then Joe Perreault with a 25-yard screamer. Like I said at the beginning, Leeds showed great resilience in both those games to get the job done. Big pressure moments. Subs probably changed the game in both games, to be fair. And then the West Brom one was, I think, just a little bit of a come down to earth. Again, at half-time in that game, I was thinking, if we're not going to win this, just don't lose it. And we didn't. And Joe Rodon with an amazing tackle towards the end there to save the day for Leeds. And, that's 17 games unbeaten now. We've not lost since the 30th of November at Ewood Park against Blackburn. So, we're, 3 points clear at the top. 8 points clear of the playoffs as it stands. Obviously, Burnley are away at Cardiff tomorrow. So, Leeds United are in a very, very good position. Very good position now. As I've titled this video, will Leeds United win the league? I mean, if we don't from this point, it will be very disappointing. But it sounds daft, but I'm not even looking at Sheffield United. I'm looking at Burnley now. If Sheffield United end up winning the league, yeah, it's not ideal. And yeah, they'll have a laugh at us about it, but not really asked. if we finish in that top 2 and get promoted, that is good enough for me. We've won the league before. We've been there. We've worn the T-shirt. This is strictly business now. We need to get promoted. Otherwise, it's going to be a fire sale in the summer. If we get promoted and the 49ers can really flex their muscles, we'll see what they're about 100%. Players we can keep, players that we'll bring in. We'll need at least 6 or 7 first-team players, in my opinion, maybe even more than that, if we're going to survive, because look at Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton at the minute. I mean, they're a joke in the Premier League, aren't they? So, like I said, if we get up, hopefully the 49ers can flex our muscles. But like I said, guys, sorry to go on tangents. Will Leeds United win the league? In my opinion, we will. In my opinion, we will come first. But like I said, it doesn't really matter if we're finishing in that top 2. If you look at the next 3 games before the international break, obviously Portsmouth at home on Sunday. Portsmouth away on Sunday. Obviously, we drew 3-3 on the opening day at Ellen Road with them. Did a bit of a crazy game, to be honest. I don't expect it to go the same way this time. I think we'll win that one. Millwall at home, I think we owe them one from the cup game, don't we, where they got a little bit too excited afterwards, even though they beat our D team. We owe them one. I think that'll be a win. The one where I'm thinking could be a bit of a banana skin is QPR away, which is the last game before the international break. So if that doesn't go our way, if we were to lose that, it's going to be arse-nipping time a little bit, isn't it, when we come back after the international break? I think Swansea at home's the first game back after the international. So, I mean, I'll be honest, I think it'll be another 7-point sequence. I think we'll beat Portsmouth and Millwall, and I think QPR could be a draw. I'm thinking of Loftus Road last season. I'm thinking the fact that it's QPR away in London, 12:30 kickoff, just doesn't add up, does it? But hopefully it does. Hopefully it's different. If we can get 7 or 9 points out of that going into the international break, then I think we will do it. There'll be 8 games left at that point. And at the very least, you would expect Leeds to get top 2 from that point at the very least. And hopefully the last sort of 2 games, it's just a fight to see who wins the division. Sheffield United against us at Bramall Lane, I thought were good for 30 minutes, but they gassed out. Vinny Souza was probably their best player, but I don't agree that he was the best player on the pitch. He was their best player, but he wasn't the best player on the pitch, in my opinion. I watched a bit of them against QPR the other day as well. Again, they weren't great, but they managed to grind out that win, which is why I think that it will be us and Sheffield United that finish in that top 2. I think Burnley, as defensively solid as they've been all season, only conceding 9 goals in the league. Going forward, they're just not great, are they? Going forward, they've not got a lot of attacking threat. They don't score a lot of goals. I know they beat Sheff Wednesday 4-0 the other week, but apart from that, it's very few and far between that they get more than 1 goal in a game. Preston knocked them out of the cup at the weekend, albeit they did have a different keeper and they did change the team, but psychologically, that defence has conceded 3 goals now. So could that play into our favour? Who knows? Like I said, they changed their team just like we did in the cup game against Millwall. So it is what it is. It'll be interesting to see how they get on at Cardiff tomorrow. I'll be keeping a firm eye on the scoreline in that game. So like I say, guys, I think it is Leeds United's league to lose. I think the only team that can cause harm to Leeds this season is Leeds. But so far, we're showing that, even the other day against West Brom, I think previous Leeds teams would lose that game. I thought West Brom played well, but Leeds United managed to stick it out and at least get something from the game. Like I said, I was saying to the lads around me at half time, if we're not going to win this, just don't lose it. I thought we started the game well, but we allowed them back into it, and it is what it is. But like I said, guys, earlier, Leeds United are in a very, very positive position at the minute. Like I said, if you'd have said to anyone that you'll get 7 points out of Sunderland, Sheffield United and West Brom, 3 of the best teams in the league, when you think about it, they're in the top 6 of West Brom, you would have definitely took that all day long. Like I said, 8 points clear of the playoffs as it stands. We'll see what happens in South Wales tomorrow night when Burnley head to Cardiff. But like I said, guys, I'm still confident. I hope you lot are as well. Like I said, there's no need to panic at this point at all. I still think we'll do it. But I think the game on Saturday against West Brom was just a reminder to the players and to Daniel Farker and things that there are still 11 games left of this season. We can't be complacent. We can't be naive or silly about this. Just keep going the way that we have been, and I think we will be absolutely fine. And I think that is the perfect way to end this first upload back. I really hope that you've all enjoyed it. As I say, guys, I'm absolutely buzzing to be back doing my own content again. It's going to be plenty of content throughout the week as we lead into the Portsmouth game. We'll be back with your live match day morning show on Sunday. There'll be your instant reaction, player ratings, the last say on next Monday night after the Portsmouth game. Is going to be a few other bits throughout the week. So like I say, guys, if you are brand new, please subscribe to the channel. That would mean the world. Please like this video if you've enjoyed it and get all of your thoughts and opinions into the comment section down below, along with hitting the notification bell. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers.